Hey everyone, I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Duane, and this week we're saddling up for an equestrian-themed show. We'll bring you the fillies, the fun, and of course the fashion from the Dubai World Cup.
We came up with this wonderful idea of a headpiece with me just playing around with a pair of socks.
Plus, we'll introduce you to a horse whisperer, the man they call the Abu Dhabi Cowboy. But first, let's get the inside track on exactly how much it costs to own and to train a thoroughbred racehorse. It's a week before the Dubai World Cup. It's 5:30 in the morning and thoroughbred horses are being put through their paces at Meydan Racetrack. They're being closely surveyed by potential buyers from the GCC and further afield who are looking for new stock in the end-of-season auction hosted by the Emirates Racing Authority. Buyers can pick up a pony from anywhere between $7,000 and $55,000, but the cost of owning these racehorses can easily run away.
Well, the biggest expense is because it takes time to get the horse prepared, conditioned. You have to feed that horse, care for it, veterinarian, farrier. But there's always good end results to that.
The Middle East aside, global front-runners in the horse racing world hail from countries including the USA and Europe. And a sign of which regions are growing in size and stature is reflected in those entering horses in this year's Dubai World Cup.
The growth of Korea, hopefully China will be a new player in the market. And as you can see here this year, we've got 14 Japanese runners. Once it gets in your blood, you understand the feeling of having the opportunity to get to the winner's circle with that horse.
Legendary trainer and one of the most successful men in the history of horse racing, Bob Barfoot, flew in from Kentucky with two of his horses to compete in the major race. There's hot favourite and reigning American colt West Coast and Mubtahij. Bob's horse Arrogate stormed to victory in the Dubai World Cup last year.
Have we seen the anointing of the man of war of the 21st century, Arrogate, a brilliant winner of the Dubai World Cup?
And despite his great achievement, the horse's reward was a modest one.
He gets same thing he always gets, a lot of love, extra carrots. No, you know what, they know, these good horses, they know when they win.
Winning is everything to Bob, and he can spot a champion at 50 furlongs.
When you go to greet them at the stall, they'll be right in the front. They won't even flinch or anything. They're just like a tough guy. They're just great athletes. Things come effortlessly to them, and that's one thing the good horses have in common.
Bob jokes that he's never had to teach a horse how to run, but rather to slow down and relax in races. And his approach has reaped dividends, with him having scooped countless prizes and the most respected benchmarks in the United States, including the Triple Crown. And he's also developed a loyalty for the UAE's flagship race day.
Greatest feeling in the world to come back to win it. So I think the Dubai World Cup, I put it right up there with the American Classics.
Now, a horse's psychological well-being is just as important as its physical condition, according to one equestrian expert in Abu Dhabi. Abdul Karim Hanif went along to meet a man who speaks a language that horses understand.
He rises each day at sunrise. He spends much of his time in the saddle. He is the man they call the Abu Dhabi Cowboy. But Amru Al-Abidi is no ordinary rancher. 2 years ago, he gave up working in the oil and gas industry to pursue his passion in the equestrian world as a horse whisperer. He now dedicates all his time to rehabilitating horses who have been involved in accidents and those which have experienced physical trauma. Using eye contact, slow and deliberate hand gestures, gradual maneuvers and, of course, quiet talking is this cowboy's preferred approach. And with horses well known to be flighty, often nervous animals, Amru must establish himself as the trusted, calm and dominant one in the training ring to see any kind of results.
So the two pillars of the relationship with the horse is gain its respect by moving its feet and develop that trust with the horse. And that'll take away the fight or flight response, and get them in a nice mental state to be trained.
Amaru's regular clients include jockeys, show jumpers, recreational riders, and at times racehorse owners, who seek his help in communicating better with their animals and addressing behavioral challenges. To date, he's rehabilitated more than 50 horses, most of them Arabian and European in origin. For Amaru to establish a bond with new horses can take up to 3 weeks, and training always begins the same way, in the same pen.
My whip is there. I always use it to build up that pressure to ask for what I want, but then once I've got that stage done, I immediately balance with that with a desensitizing exercise where the horse has to stand still and just be fully accepting of me throwing the whip over it, touching it all over its body.
Equine therapy can often be as beneficial for humans as it is for horses, and Amaru regularly helps people ride again after an accident. He believes that anything can be achieved if there's enough trust, adding that horses are naturally curious and social creatures, and through constant interaction, even a timid foal can become confident and playful.
Now, it's not just the horses that are competing on the ground at this year's event. There are plenty of others with their eye on the prize, specifically in the style stakes.
Since 1996, it's been one of the most popular events in the regional social calendar, and it's a place to see and be seen. Horses and high fashion converge at the Dubai World Cup, and visiting Australian tourists Neil Carpenter and Lisa Wellings saw off stiff competition to win Best Dressed Couple.
Well, my headwear is made from Jane Stoddart in Sydney, Australia, and she's a wonderful creative designer. I'm an amateur designer. Yes, I can scroll through so many websites, you know, looking at different clothes and headpieces, and I just love it. It's my very expensive hobby. The theme for spring is beautiful lace and florals, and so we came up with this wonderful idea of a headpiece with me just playing around with a pair of socks with a headband, like pom-poms, you know.
But it wasn't just the clothes that helped this couple take the top spot.
But I think it's chemistry. You must have chemistry as a couple, you know, to wear something, and we coordinated well with colours.
Whilst the event will always attract dedicated followers of fashion, it's also a place where corporate hospitality features heavily, and deals are done within an industry that's estimated to be worth more than $300 billion. And then, of course, there are the racing enthusiasts, who topped around 60,000 this year, with many of them hailing from the US and countries across Europe, as well as India, Pakistan and Sudan. Amongst those soaking up the atmosphere was celebrity DJ and singer Dane Bowers.
What a great event. I mean, I love it here. Dubai in general, events are plush, but this one's a good one. Dubai is different. I mean, they love their horses. In general, it's more about a social event for me. I like being here, I like seeing who's here. It's a very civilised thing.
Like many of his fellow British expatriates, Dane has made the permanent move to Dubai to explore new work opportunities, with the year-round sunshine and packed calendar of sporting events also holding major appeal.
I love it. I mean, I always travel anyway, so I mean, at least once a month I'll probably head out and go somewhere else. UK, I've got Bahrain and different places that I DJ at. But in general, Dubai, like, I don't know, there's something for everyone here.
Following a light show and some aerial acrobatic entertainment, everyone on the ground at Meydan and more than 1 billion people watching on televisions worldwide tuned in to the nail-biting final race of the World Cup. which saw Irish thoroughbred Thunder Snow race to victory and win the $10 million prize. The horse won by almost 6 lengths, and it was ridden by jockey Christophe Soumillon, whom after 8 previous attempts to win, finally received the Gold Whip trophy.
I was surprised to see that nobody really challenged me before the post. In the back straight, I was also surprised to see that nobody was trying to put some pressure on, and finally my horse was really relaxed like he likes to do. When I came in the turn, I saw that he changed legs perfectly, he was going smoothly, and I had a good feeling, you know, like nobody could catch me at that time.
And Soumillon proudly wore the blue silks of Godolphin, the stables owned by Dubai's ruler, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum.
Well, that's a wrap from Dubai. Before I leave you, here's what caught the attention of the Inspire team on social media.
Sudanese musician Mo Bash captured a light-hearted moment from the race's after-party. Elena Danstovic from Serbia uploaded a stylish, sustainable fashion snap entitled Happy Sunday. And Kirsten Punt showed her video of the Dubai World Cup's closing fireworks.